Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the weekly Fortcast. This is episode number 4. My name is BenK.
And I'm Pfluger.
Let's get right into it, right? I mean, we're 1 month down. I like to think we've gotten a little bit of a roll when it comes to things, right? We've got some more upgrades, of course. Now we actually have...
We're actually we're becoming official, I feel like.
Official? I think it's been official. Professional?
I mean,
definitely not.
Okay. No.
Definitely not professional.
Yeah.
We'll get it going, though. More changes along the ways. Hopefully some guests coming here in the future
100%.
before the end of the year, which will be cool to see. But big changes, right? The topic of conversation, the talk of the town, of course, it's OG Fortnite, right?
It is.
It still is OG Fortnite, and we'll get to that. Obviously, I mean, might as well just go ahead and kick it off with it, right? I mean, that's the topic.
I think
Let's talk about
we
some
might
updates.
as well. You know?
We're shifting over seasons today. Literally the day of recording here, Thursday, we're switching over seasons from 5 to 6, or is it 7? Is it
it's 5 to 6.
5 to 6. 6 was a big update. I remember it when it first came out back in the day, man. One of my favorites for sure. And it's kind of a point to show, right? It doesn't take a lot to make something enjoyable from season to season.
I 100% agree.
Because as far as like map changes and gameplay loop changes, didn't really do a whole lot back then, but it was so much fun.
It was like this season that we have right now, isn't the floating island now in the game?
Yep. So yeah, I mean, we talk about map changes, right? Pretty much the only map change could be the floating island replaced, and that's Kevin coming back to the island
Kevin
for the
the
first time,
Cube
man.
is back.
So awesome to see. That also adds, of course, the aspect of the floating island, which is going to move around like we saw back in the day. But also now Loot Lake is transformed, becomes kind of a POI of its own. I remember seeing OG clips of Tfue and people fragging out with the Deagle. Oh, Shroud, remember the old Shroud?
Oh my God, yeah.
Dude, so cool. One of my favorites, and I think from that point forward in Chapter 1 from Season 6, I did not stop landing there. Every event,
it's so good.
Every single spot, I think I just immediately started.
I remember going there, dropping 6 elims in 30 seconds. That's like one of my highlights still.
Okay, bro, we gotta find that clip.
It was crazy.
We gotta find the clip, man. But I mean, let's talk about some of the gameplay changes, because other than just Loot Lake getting a makeover, there are some actual changes to the loot pool. Remove burst ARs. Remember
I
Tfue?
miss it.
Remember, man.
I low-key miss it because the burst AR is actually, I think it was like the best meta in season 5
You
at
know,
least.
it's not bad by any means, but I just remember seeing the absolute rage oozing from Tfue. Remove the burst ARs.
Oh my gosh, I remember that.
And I'll buy skins until the day I
oh my
die.
gosh, yeah, you're right.
This was the time, right?
This was.
Burst ARs get removed, impulse grenades removed, smoke grenades removed, porta-forts gone.
Yep.
But that kind of shifts the focus back over. Porta-fortresses coming into the game. Grapple gloves, but they're only from Rift encounters, which is interesting because was that Chapter 2, Chapter 3?
I think Rift encounters were like Chapter 3, yeah.
Chapter 3, yeah.
Maybe
so
Chapter 4.
Not sure why they included them. Maybe that's kind of a zero build focus thing that they tried to keep it in
so,
for.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to complain. I'm
not
up
either.
for it. More mobility in the loot pool, I think,
take
is
it.
always good, especially with a chapter like this where it's a lot more heavily focused on the non-competitive aspect of things.
Right.
So adding more utility items, more mobility items kind of opens up the playing field a little bit to make those plays, to have those cool moments and have a little bit more fun. Along with that same thing, bounce pads and shockwaves.
Oh my gosh.
Dude.
The legend itself. Let's go.
And for zero build,
It's going to be huge.
man, I mean, what do you think for bounce pads, shockwaves? I mean, how do you think that opens up the playing field for zero build competition? Because we've got another round of skirmishes coming.
I mean, you make the easiest rotates of your life. You can go across the whole map, I feel like. At least 200 meters.
Easily, especially with like the size of the mountains that are on the map right now.
That's going to be huge going up mountains and stuff,
because in zero build, right? Like all the mountains and all the maps that we've seen since zero build's conception, right? It's been zero build friendly. You can walk up some way or another, but you can't do that on most of the mountains in this game.
This map is not made for zero builds, but I feel like with all this mobility being added, as so much recently, it's gonna be good.
Yeah, dude, shockwaves. Man, I remember the moment they came out. We're like, this is broken. This is broken. This is broken. And it is.
Yeah.
It is very broken.
It's a little broken, maybe just a little bit.
But it's fun, man. Bounce pads, of course, fan favorites.
Yeah.
Especially with sniper rifles in the game, man. I know the trick shotting community.
Oh my gosh,
Dude,
yes.
I can't wait to see trick shotting.
Are launch pads still in? I feel like they are, right?
Launch pads are still in, yeah.
So bounce pad and launch pad meta. I remember that in builds. It was so good.
Put the archway out.
Yep.
Dude, so
so
cool.
good.
Of course, though, coming back, double barrel.
Yep.
Dude,
one of my favorite guns.
When that gun hit the gameplay track, when it first came out, dude, everyone. This is meta. This is the future.
It is.
And we've had it come back in different ways, right? And it's been decent, but for the most part, it's just outshined by the pump because of the consistency.
Right.
But no doubt in my mind, we'll see everyone running double barrel.
I honestly see it. It's going to be so good.
For zero build, what do you think?
You know, I saw a clip earlier of someone doing max pumps, and it was only like 212. So it's not a guaranteed one pump. Right. It's good.
Build,
it's good right? For 212 is good.
Yeah.
But you got to be in the face with zero build, like with the double pump. So you got to be in the face.
True.
Long range zero build fights is just not going to be good at all.
Yeah. So I mean, of course, in zero build you have overshield, so 250.
Right. Exactly.
Right? If people at home didn't pick up on that, if they're a little bit, I didn't pick up on it at first. So if they're smarter than me, they might have got it. Dynamite coming into it, the 6-shooter clingers. I mean, dude.
I think right now zero build meta is going to be double barrel. I feel like we can make it work, but 6-shooter is going to be insane.
I've seen some clips.
I feel like it's going to be really good.
It's nuts. Just that right click and the amount of damage that it puts out so fast.
Exactly.
Kind of nasty. Have we seen Dynamite come back into the loophole since this
I don't think so.
I'm trying to think back. I think maybe we've had like
maybe
one-off events in chapter 2. Yeah, I was thinking like maybe the Primal season or something I saw it, but it was definitely like a very dulled down version of it.
Yeah.
I'm hoping, man, we've seen so many items come back into the loot pool that have kept the altered variations of it. Like even the pump, I mean, of course, coming back, damage values can one pump again, but it's the newer model.
Right.
So it's like, it's still not quite hitting the same.
Mm-hmm.
And that kind of leads me into this next thing, right? Quad crashers.
Dude. I'm sad. I'm like happy it's back, but so sad you can't fly with them.
Dude. It's just so disappointing, right?
Yeah.
It's like the one thing that everyone came into it and they're like, yes.
I'm so ready for it, and then it's just a slap in the face.
Yeah, slap in the face. Oh, man. As far as mobility, we talked about shockwaves for zero build. It's solid, right, of course. You have chiller traps. Those are the ones that ice your feet up and let you slide real fast.
Right. You can't use any traps in zero build, so I think it's going to be... I don't know how good it's going to be in builds, though, so...
Maybe you go a cheeky little rotate to slide to low ground or something. It could be cool. Especially with the way that the build meta has been developing, a lot more players utilizing the flipped ramps and sliding.
Oh, that's actually
sliding
huge.
With chiller on like the decline.
Yeah, that's going to be nice.
Especially with the way these mountains work and how they just drop off.
Yeah.
Maybe
I can see it. I can see it happening 100%.
I mean, it's going to be interesting to see. Of course, these tournaments start, are they today or tomorrow?
I think the ranked ones are tomorrow. So
ranked ones are tomorrow. Okay.
Yes. And then Monday we have the Victory Cups coming back.
Monday Victory Cups. Yep. We're talking about tournaments, right? Victory Cups coming back into it. Now we'll see that first round starting in a day. They start tomorrow?
I think so. Yeah, ranked. Starts tomorrow.
Are you pulling a crazy stream again to try and get into all of them, or
I would, but I'm going home this weekend, so unfortunately not this weekend. But
missing out on the bag.
I know, but next weekend. Hey, next weekend I'm feeling a little 70. Oh no, I'm not gonna go. 72-hour stream.
Ooh, that'll be
I did not say that.
Painful for the soul. It hurts to even hear out loud.
Yeah.
We talk about quad crashers, drift boards coming in, mounted turrets.
The mounted trick shots you can go with the drift boards are gonna be insane.
Dude, it's cool, man. I've always said it, and I'll stick to it. The mobility is always good.
It is,
especially in a season 100%. Like this. It's always just gonna add more than it is gonna take away.
Do you think they're gonna add any new mobility like they did in chapter 4, like for chapter 5? Changes? Like insane for chapter 5 at least. Like any new mobility? I hope so.
In my head, I think yes. Mm-hmm. Maybe even a new gameplay mechanic, like we got sliding and mantling.
Yeah.
Maybe even we see something like wall running.
I've heard like leaks about that.
That's my fear though, is because don't call me a purist, but
yeah.
I think a lot of the times, and I hope more people are realizing that after seeing this season and how successful it is, less is more.
I agree. Yeah, 100%.
And adding more complication to the movement mechanics is just going to drive away a lot of the casual players.
I agree.
More and more, and start separating more and more that competitive group from the casual group, which, of course, right, creating that rift is necessary to have a high level of play and consistency in an esports scene.
Right.
But for Fortnite, I just don't think it's the best move.
I don't think it is either, to be honest. I've seen a lot of OG players coming back, and they didn't really understand like the sprinting and stuff. So it was just like,
yeah. Dude, I mean, I saw Stable Ronaldo playing yesterday, got a solo win, and he was talking to his chat about, I'm thinking about coming back and competing.
I saw that, yeah.
Which is like, dude, what?
That's huge.
Like that's an OG.
That's a FNCS winner, squad FNCS winner.
Yeah, it's like if more and more people get on the game and realize like, hey, it's still got that touch to it, right? That's something that no other game can bring to you. it'd be cool to see people come back and start trying to compete again. But I'm terrified because if they go straight into Chapter 5 and there's just something crazy like that.
Like what Chapter 2 did for Chapter 1.
I would be worried that those people immediately just decide, it's just not for me.
Yeah, 100%.
Granted, everything's up in the air. We have no idea what's going to happen. But that kind of does it for OG Fortnite updates.
I think so.
We've got some juicy conversations to go through here. Just so everyone knows, it's not just going to be an OG Fortnite show, because I kind of didn't talk of the pod the last 2 weeks. But let's talk about DreamHack.
I'm down
for a minute, right? DreamHack switched their competition for DreamHack Atlanta and DreamHack Winter,
right,
from zero build to standard BR. It was a big thing, right? Everyone saw that it was standard BR. Saw that it was zero build and was kind of like, it was mixed reception, right?
It was. I feel like the whole zero build community was like, it's good, right? I saw so many people buy tickets going to it, right?
Yeah.
And then whenever it switched, everybody was just like, oh, I need to sell my ticket.
A lot of people bought tickets before the event was even announced.
Yeah.
Which is wild. I think everyone kind of assumed like, hey, it's going to be another qualifier for G8. It's going to be another 250,000, 500,000 prize pool. It's like, guys, that's not.
Yeah,
that's not DreamHack.
No.
It's a 25K is still no small number.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a good chunk of change. If you're in the vicinity, you can get a cheap flight. You can drive.
I say
go for it.
I feel like a lot of people from the West Coast, like Central America, also probably will not be going just because of how long the flight is.
Yeah.
And the return and like investment.
Yeah.
For the event. So on with it. Yeah.
Yeah, because I mean the prize pool is distributed a lot. I know we talked about you possibly going up when it was zero build before it switched over. Just the way that it was split up, it just really doesn't yield enough to profit as much as you would like.
I feel like also changing the whole game mode from not even zero build to builds, but changing it from solos to duos has like a real impact on like whoever already bought the tickets and stuff.
Absolutely.
Because now they have to find teammates going for the event. So
yeah, and I mean, standard BR is zero build will always have a special place in my heart. Absolutely. It jump started my career and gave me the massive boost that I needed and opened up some awesome doors.
Right.
And will always be down to hop on and run some zero build
100%.
or a tournament or whatever. Standard BR will have my heart through and through till the day I die, I think. Just because as a viewer perspective, the high level competitions, the way that it makes me feel as a viewer and a player, no other game can bring that feeling. So I was kind of happy to see them switch from zero build to standard BR, but I know it affected so many people.
I agree. Me personally, I love playing zero builds, but the enjoyment of watching builds never leaves for me.
The viewer quality is just completely different. Zero build, I think, there isn't a better environment to foster good content creation than 100%. Zero build. There isn't a better way to put yourself in a position to get better content, I think, is zero build right now, as far as like personalities.
Right.
But for just straight up viewer enjoyment, standard BR.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, you get the funny comms, you get the crazy clips, you get a mixture of everything that is core Fortnite.
Right.
That zero build kind of gets taken from them.
Yeah.
You know? So I wasn't too upset to see the switch. I know a lot of people in the community were.
Right. Especially the people who bought the tickets already. So
yeah, I mean, for you, does it really make a difference?
I did have someone reach out and ask if I wanted to go and
to play standard BR.
To play standard BR.
Hey, this is the 5th place finisher at DreamHack Dallas.
This is true.
2020.
I think 2021. Yeah.
Wow.
2021.
That was the first back after COVID, right?
It was
2 years off. He comes back and drops 5th place at DreamHack Dallas. By the way,
what can I say?
He's not just good at zero
I think it was 2022. It was 2022.
Whatever the first DreamHack Dallas, first DreamHack back for Fortnite was, which was in Dallas. You got 5th place in the finals. That was the one where we had all the fights and Diego Plays incident and all sorts of stuff.
Yeah.
We love Fortnite.
Yeah, pretty much.
But I mean, it's a topic of conversation in the scene. It impacts a lot of people, but in the end, I think it's W.
I think it is. Yeah.
And I'll be watching the event if I'm not there in Atlanta in person. Still up in the air. I might be making a guest feature appeance on site.
Oh my gosh.
Maybe we'll throw up a little guest interview on site for the pod. We'll have to wait and see. But we'll move into another topic because why not, right? I mean, we had the DreamHack switch from zero to standard BR, but something that I want to talk about is the fact that so many organizations are taking this off season for granted, I think.
Yeah.
not just the fact that it's OG Fortnite and most organizations are not pushing out content like they should be, but I don't think orgs are putting in the work that they need to be doing to prepare for this coming year of competition.
They definitely need to be putting in more. Like I mean, I know they signed a lot of comp players, right? Going for like competitive wise.
Yeah.
They need to start pushing out content though.
That's my thing, right? Content is the key because we've seen so many organizations disappear, come back, reduce their numbers, budget cuts, layoffs, whatever it is, right? If you want to be sustainable, especially in Fortnite right now, content is the only way.
Yeah.
It is the only way to make this whole thing work.
100%.
And coming out of our first full structured year of competitive competition, you look at orgs like Elite, like FaZe, like anybody involved in the scene that has a Fortnite player right now, Twisted Minds, even from Middle East. Dignitas, right? Dignitas is a massive roster with really crazy potential. Dignitas is probably the only team I think that is doing a pretty good job right now.
I feel like they could do more though.
Absolutely. Every team should be doing more. Just because not only does the OG season open a lot of doors for fun content creation, but we have this off-season time to prepare for year 2 of full structured competitive. Right? More than likely, I would expect there to be something similar to a major system again with a final LAN event at the end of the year to wrap up the chapter.
I feel like that would be perfect. I mean, this past year felt really good esports-wise for Fortnite.
Absolutely. And if you're looking at your roster right now and you're a talent manager or a roster manager for one of these organizations, right, you look at your players, most of them, I would think if you look at the players that are signed right now, you can assume that the same ones are going to qualify, right? Like Booga's going to be at the next World Championship. Kanata's going to be there. Agers is going to be there, right? Like these players are the ones that are going to be there year after year for the foreseeable future, just because there's leagues ahead of the competition, and they're contending for that first place spot on a regular basis. You can start to build long-term projects for these guys, right? Documentary-styled stuff. Lean into the knowledge and the storylines of these players rather than just going for an engagement grab, like some of them playing some fill squads or playing pubs and stomping and dropping 40 bombs, right? No more 4-quarter challenges. Like people don't want to see that with these comp rosters. They want to see what's your story, how did you get here, what kind of work did you put in behind the scenes, and what is the stuff that's going on that we don't get to see?
I feel like a lot of people would actually enjoy that type of content because
absolutely.
I mean, I feel like a lot of people like need to dive into the backgrounds of the players so that they can get better as a player as well. Even if it's not competitive wise, I feel like casuals will also enjoy that, trying to figure out like how the esports scene runs.
100%, because that's the stuff, right? Like people want to see like what do your setups look like? What's your day to day when you're preparing for something like a global championship, right? Like what are you practicing? What do your VOD review sessions look like?
You know who was like a really good person who did some sort of that? Paper and Jamper doing that
for a minute. They did,
the boot camp.
They did a great job, and I think the number one kind of golden standard right now. Shout out to Caster Lash or Caden Lasher for referencing this to me the other day. Become legends.
Yes.
They did it right.
They did it.
They did 100%. It right. In Reno, man. Oh, Reno, such a bummer to see him kind of depart from that group. But he's still very heavily involved in the Fortnite scene, does a lot of cool stuff for the community. Red Bull, of course, that event was awesome and a really cool activation. But that's just to show, man, I mean, they did it right. That documentary style content to show the growth of a duo like that and following their journey throughout an entire year, right? That's the stuff that people want to see. That stuff pops off. Yeah. That's the stuff that everyone remembers.
Exactly, yeah.
You don't just want to throw something out to get the sponsor numbers done, right? Meet the requirements. Do something that's going to leave and solidify your organization's legacy.
I feel like Fortnite also did it well. Even just Fortnite. I feel like the way they did stories of the battle bus.
They've upped it.
It was so good.
Yeah, they've upped the levels Fortnite with their stuff because they do regular media days now. They record all this stuff.
This is true.
They did a great job of building hype.
They did it, yeah.
Because I think Fortnite competitive as a whole is like kind of, it's viewed at by the world as, I don't want to say a joke. It's not taken seriously. It's like, it needs something to give it the respect from other esports titles that it deserves.
Right. I feel like a lot of people just view Fortnite as a kid's game, even though it is surrounded by like
it's majority casual audience, right? It is a younger group. But as far as like competitive goes, people want it to feel like it's something bigger than it is.
I agree.
Right?
I feel like people definitely do want to watch Fortnite, but they don't want to admit it being a kid's game, you know?
Yeah.
But, you know, I mean,
No, it's a younger kid's game, absolutely. Yeah. But the thing is, it can be played at a very high level.
It definitely can be.
And in reality, it has one of the highest, if not the highest, skill gaps as any esport out there.
By far.
I think one of the only arguable titles is League of Legends. That really has something larger. I mean, it just takes so much out of those players and out of everyone involved in that scene to compete at that level consistently. Fortnite is to another level. And the thing is, it's all left on these players' shoulders to keep themselves accountable, which is why I think, again, the content that is available to these organizations, it's right at their fingertips, right? Most of these players have personalities, they have the work ethic, and they're doing all this stuff behind the scenes. It's like, go and document some of this stuff.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
It's just, even on the zero build side of things, man, with so many like massive zero build competitions too. I mean, you're familiar with plenty of zero build pros. I mean, you know some of their stories, right?
I know most of them, to be honest. So I feel like a lot of people just need to like just get content out of there and just make it happen, you know?
Yeah, you have to put in the work. So many teams, they don't have a content manager on site. You look at Dignitas, they do. They have they have 50 that's out there. He's doing so much for the players to help them compete at a high level behind the scenes, and that's evident in the placements that we've seen from the players, right? Kanata, of course, getting his first FNCS championship. Would that have happened without 50? We don't know, man. I mean,
it's true.
I see 50 bringing in meals for this guy.
Yeah.
During the stream, he'll be out there grinding 12 hours straight, and he's bringing in sandwiches, talking in his chat.
I have mad respect for 50, so. See, he's been in the scene for a while also.
Yep. And the thing is, I think we need more people like that, but people who are content-minded.
Yes.
Who want to go out of their way to get these guys out of their comfort zone, because if they're not live streaming and they're not playing the game, they're just sitting around.
Yeah.
Reality is, these top-tier pros, this is what they do full-time. Might as well give them something to do.
Yeah,
create some content, build up your own audience, and the organizations can start
create a story. That's the best way to put it.
Create a story and a legacy around these guys.
Exactly.
I think there's so much out there that's untapped potential, and I'm excited for the future, because hopefully during this offseason, I hope these orgs are cooking, man.
I do also.
And if they're not, they need to be.
Yep, I agree.
That's all we had, though, Pfluger, for this episode. This is episode number 4. We're 1 month in.
We are.
Short form content is cranking out. Again, the weekly Fortcast on TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, Apple Podcast, Podbean.
Yeah.
Did I hit everything? Was that everything?
I think so.
Twitter, Fortcast.
Oh my God,
on Twitter.
Still haven't got the OG.
Yeah, still haven't got the OG app. We'll work at it. Of course, though, I hope you guys enjoyed the episode. This one will be a little bit longer. Again, please reach out to either Pfluger or I if you guys have any criticisms. We'd love to hear it. Hopefully, we got some guests on here soon. If you guys are interested in hopping on the podcast at home and you're listening, you've got a story to tell, reach out to us, please. We would love to have guests. We'd love to book some guests here for the next coming year. But beyond that, I think it's going to wrap things up. Appreciate you guys, and peace.
Peace out.